I'm Dr. Mark Waterbury, inventor of the Aerofalls compact vertical aeroponic gardening systems. I have here a macrofall system and a mesofall system. These are both of the new 2-inch net cups, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on these, a little bit of updating. I've started the macrofalls here with strawberries, had some lettuce and lettuce mixes in here, and had a few herbs in here as well. Now the strawberries are starting to fill in. They're still pretty young, but they're beginning to fill in, and they are beginning to bear strawberries. I want to make more room available in this system, so I'm going to pull out the herbs and move them to the mesofall system. So this will be entirely an herb garden, and this one will be entirely devoted to strawberries. Now that has the advantage that you want to be able to have the nutrient solution be optimized for, or be tuned to be best, let's say, rather than optimized, for a particular plant. So you don't want to have mixes of plants that need a lot of nutrients with plants that need very few nutrients. The strawberries here are just beginning to fill in, and they're just beginning to send off these runners. I'll be using those to propagate the plants, simply taking a runner out of one plant, moving it down, putting it into a new net cup with some rock wool cubes here, and this one's just getting settled in. I just did this a couple days ago. It's starting to grow, and yeah, there's the first roots are coming out of this brand new strawberry plant. So you don't need to fill the entire system with strawberry plants. You only need to fill, say, a half or 1/3 of the ports, depending on how much time you have available in your growing season. Here I have a parsley plant that's just beginning to kick in. I'll lift the strawberries up out of the way. And there's our root mass system. Hope you can see that well. Now I need to get this down into the new system. I'm going to prune away some of the roots that are packed in around the base of the plant. Just dig these guys away to give it a little bit more clearance. You get lots of water, lots of nutrients coming into these systems, into these plants I mean, so that there isn't any danger of root shock when you remove a few roots. But I do want it to be able to fit down into the other system. So there, that's just kind of pruned back a little bit. And then I'm going to set this into the mesofalls. Being careful to drape the roots down inside of the column. I don't want these to be pinched back outside of the column. And there we have that, and that plant is transplanted. I'll do the same with this mint here. I have 3 different kinds of mint growing, being careful not to damage the strawberries. You can see again a substantial amount of roots coming back. I'll just peel back the little bit of excess roots that's right here at the base of the plant. And again, I'll set this into a plant pot, draping the roots down inside. So there's one mint. Here's another one. Get this guy loose. This one has a few dead leaves to remove. And again, there's a little bit of excess root here right around the base of the net pot. Just going to make sure that it has room to go down inside. I'll put this guy over here. And I do want to point it in such a way that it's pointed the same way that it was originally, so the plant is going up. And here's my last mint plant here. Got a strawberry hook, and pulling the roots up and out of that. Peel these guys off, but that looks fine. So draping the plant roots down inside. Get in there, guys. And there. Now I've opened up the space in this. I'm going to wash off the roots of a few more strawberries and put them in here. And also I'll have places for these runners to go into open ports. Now some of the leaves here have died off. These were from leaves that were on the strawberries at the nursery. So I'm going to prune a few of these away. I don't want to have dead plant matter building up here because that could be a place for fungus and other things to grow. And also I want to keep this as open so that the green leaves of the working leaves of the strawberries will be as open as possible. So that's pretty much cleaned up. Now this is pretty sparse at this point. This will be filling in solid with strawberry plants. I'll come back and show that in another video here. I am going to be putting a few more fresh strawberry plants of different varieties that I'll be planting into this. And also I'll be propagating these runners here simply by moving them up, plugging them into another net pot. And as I showed with this runner, which I planted a few days ago, it will then start to grow roots and will grow as another new plant. When you wash the roots clear of soil, you want to be very careful not to let them get dried out. It's best to do this out of direct sunlight. You don't want to have direct sunlight on the roots. That would dry them rapidly. You just want to keep the roots moist and happy and put them as soon as possible back into the, packed into the rock wool cubes in this case, and plug them back into the Aerofalls. Here I have the Aerofalls system with some of the strawberries that had already been growing in it, and they're beginning to bear fruit here. And then a number of plants that I've just newly planted into the system. They tend to be kind of hanging down, but plants know which way is up. Very soon they will grow upward. They will stabilize themselves inside the net cups as they grow roots and kind of plant themselves down in. And we'll come back and I'll show this again in a few weeks, and there'll be healthy growing strawberry patch here. I want to give a special thanks to my supervisor, Oliver, who has done the heavy lifting on all of these projects. Oliver?